Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 98 of the Talk is Cheap show. Hope you're all well, healthy and COVID free. Thanks to everybody today for tapping in. We truly appreciate your support. As you can see, once again, we're live in the AFTV studio, very salubrious surroundings. And I have with me, to my left, how can I start this? Award-winning social media content award winner. But we know him as our self-acclaimed analyst, co-host, ex-football pro, big in the AFTV place, Mr. Curtis Shaw. Oh, Curtis Shaw TV in-house, what you saying, bro?
Good to be back, man. We had a week off last week, but at least things are looking up for Arsenal. You know, we can have a positive show, enjoyable one.
Yeah. What you been up to
Content,
since
man.
we last spoke?
Same old content, banging out the videos, you know, same old business, man.
Putting out that product, man.
Yeah, man.
Saturating the streets.
Blue magic, man. That Frank Luke.
Oh, man. That's good, though. That's good, man. Right, so let's start with our news and notes, which for those of you who don't know, you probably do by now, but on the show each week, we will talk about matters that are in the news, that pertain to Arsenal. Some of them always not immediately pertaining to Arsenal, but we think are of interest. So I would say there's one major story in town this week, bro. I think that's fair to say, isn't it? And it's happening not too far from where we are now. Them man down the road there.
Them man there, yeah.
Nuno sacked. I mean, let's be honest, man. That was once they'd lost El Sacico. I think.
Or did they win El Sacico in the end? You know?
Well, there is a school of thought that suggests that.
Yeah.
But yeah, once that game was over and the result came through, pretty much you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But not everybody knew what was going to happen next. Certainly took me by surprise. But I'm going to ask you, man, let's get straight into it. Conte at Tottenham. Are you worried?
Wow. I wouldn't go as far to say I'm worried. But
that's not what you said upstairs.
Well, yeah. No, do you know what it is? I would say that as an Arsenal fan, it can't be ignored. It's not something you can just look at and say, I'm not bothered about it. Antonio Conte, for me, is, I would say, one of the top 5 managers in world football as a club manager.
I think most people
I think it will be a difficult job for him because you're not walking into Chelsea, who had world beaters everywhere. You're not walking into Inter Milan, which is an environment he knew very well. They had money to spend. They got the likes of Lukaku. Tottenham are in a difficult position at the moment. However,
sad, isn't it?
Well, no, listen, you know, we're loving it as Arsenal fans. But however, you've got to be honest. You know, they're only 2 points behind Arsenal. So they're not a million miles away. And if he can get a tune out of them, I think it's something we have to be aware of. You know, we can't just ignore them. They are a team that you would say we're competing with at the moment. We're not at the top table at the moment with your Cities and your Liverpools and your Chelseas. So, do you know what? You know, I think it's a big coup for them. I got to be honest. To go from Nuno to Conte is a big upturn. However, you know, you hope that they'll Spurs it up somehow. I mean, they actually announced him in Spanish. Did you see that? They announced him in Spanish.
Yeah, I heard that.
They quickly deleted it and put the Italian one. And actually, I saw a tweet the other day, 5,000 days without winning a trophy. I mean, that is special. You know, that's not including the famous Audi Cup, by the way. But yeah, 5,000 days. But no, listen, Conte, just to take it back, I think is a great appointment. But I think this will be probably his toughest job that he's done. So hopefully it doesn't work out and doesn't affect Arsenal too much, you know.
You know what? It's interesting because, listen, I think pretty much everyone agrees that Conte is a great manager. Yeah. He's proven his quality. We know he's got what it takes. But there is a school of thought that says, is it going to work? Given the type of personality he is, he's quite a, how can I put it? He's quite aggy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's quite combustious, you know what I mean? And he's going to come with a bit of baggage, I would have thought. Yeah. And that relationship between him and the board and him and the players, it could get quite fractious at times.
Possibly,
so,
yeah.
What do you think? You think it's a good fit, though?
I'm not sure.
Just because you're a good manager doesn't mean to say the club will be a good fit.
Yeah. I think Conte is one of them managers, he needs soldiers. You know, almost like soldiers going to war for him. And how many of them have Tottenham got? I think one thing's for certain, they're going to have to spend a lot of money to give him the type of team. I mean, listen, people know, I said before I would have taken Conte at Arsenal. Not necessarily the ideal fit. I just felt he was such a top manager.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think, like I said, I think he'll have a tough job on his hands over there. It's not an easy fix.
Interesting. But you know what I've also found interesting, and this is something that me and you spoke about earlier, is that, like you just said there, you would have taken Conte at Arsenal. And a lot of people before, especially when we were having problems earlier in the season, well, we need a new manager. We need someone like a Conte to get us fired up and look at his proven winner and rare. Now that same guy's gone to Tottenham, I'm hearing one or two Arsenal fans. Yeah, he's good, but if you look at his career, he's not really as good as that, and I'm not sure if it's going to work. So I've also found that interesting. You know, but there you go. But yeah, man, we'll watch that with interest. And obviously, it pertains to Arsenal, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, listen, man, we'll be looking over our shoulder. There's no doubt about that. But it just, the Premier League for me just got a little bit more interesting, which is great. Whilst we're on managers, man, I've got to mention this. Unai Emery was approached by Newcastle. That kind of came out of the blue. We've since heard that he's turned them down, which, you know, I must admit, I was a little surprised he did that, but fair play to him. He's given his reasons, and I've got no reason to disbelieve him when he says that he wasn't convinced about the project and he's happy at Villarreal and he wants to stay there and progress things there. But what are your thoughts? Unai Emery.
I mean, first of all, I think Newcastle have messed up a little bit there. Because I know Emery didn't have the best of times at the end at Arsenal. But I think one thing's for certain, he's a very accomplished manager. You know, 4 Europa League titles, he's in the Champions League. And I think they've made a bit of a howler there, because it seems they've come in and bought the club, all this money, everything's going to be glamorous. Well, did you not have a plan for the manager you were going to appoint? They were linked with Lampard, apparently Conte, Fonseca. They've been linked with everyone. So I think Emery was saying he wasn't convinced by the fact they kind of approached him and Eddie Howe at the same time.
No, actually, I think they approached Eddie Howe before him.
Oh, before? So he's probably thinking, well, hang on, like, am I getting this job, or, you know, what's going on? And I think the Villarreal chairman put out a statement saying, you know, we're a Champions League club. He's won the Europa League. We've backed him. You know, Newcastle could potentially get relegated. So listen, I think Newcastle have messed up a little bit there. You know, I think they have to understand it's going to take more than money to be successful. You got to have a plan. You got to have football people in place. And I can understand why Emery has maybe rejected it.
Do you think Emery might be somewhat scarred by his experiences at Arsenal? Because towards the end there, he was getting quite a lot of ridicule. And I'm sure he's not had to put up with that in Spain.
Definitely not.
So do you think that might have played a part in his decision?
I mean, I thought he would have been motivated to come back to sort of say, look, let me prove you lot wrong. You know, I've got the bag of money to spend. So I think there's no doubt he was interested. But the offer, you know, I think Newcastle, you know, they've got all that money. Have they got the right technical director? It doesn't seem like they've got football people in there at the moment. And I think that's why they're struggling. So I think it's going to be Eddie Howe. And Unai will continue at Villarreal, Champions League.
I was thinking, could it be that maybe Unai looked at the situation and maybe his assessment was, Newcastle want me, but I'm just going to be the stepping stone. I'll keep them up. And then I'll just be there biding time until they bring in one of the big guns. And he probably thought, no, I'm not going to let them use me like that.
That's a good point. Because Villarreal will probably keep him for a long time. Where, like you said, Newcastle, they may have moved him on.
Yeah, because when he used words like, I think he said something like he wasn't convinced at the project or what they were trying to sell him. Immediately when those words come out, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe he thinks he's a bit of a stopgap. Come there, keep them up, steady the ship, and then it's all right, man. We got man like Zidane and all them, man. Thanks very much. See you later. And he probably thought, no, man. You know, what I mean, I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that. So, but anyway, we'll watch that space as well. Two very interesting developments there. Right, moving on then again to one of our regular features. Again, those of you who watch the show will know that we review Arsenal's last games. Now, since our last show, there's been 3 games, so we're not going to go in depth, but I will just touch on them. So, Arsenal Villa. 3-1. Excellent performance. totally dominated. Well, say totally dominated, but
Majority
it's
of
pretty
the game.
resounding. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that game?
I thought it was a brilliant performance.
Yeah.
I thought one of our strongest, if not the strongest performance of the season for me.
I'm with you on that.
Villa have got a lot of attacking talent, and we nullified them. You know, we took our chances. It was a shame we conceded a goal, but I thought we dominated. Villa had to make changes at half time, and listen, I thought that was an excellent performance.
I don't think 3-1 flattered us at all.
No, we could have scored more.
Yeah, we could and should have. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, very good win. Arsenal leads in the EFL Cup 2-0. I would say the performance wasn't anywhere near as exhilarating as some of our other ones. The one you just mentioned, the Villa, but nevertheless, man, we got through.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I think, without being disrespectful to Sunderland, I think us putting Sunderland out the hat in the next round is, shall we say, fortuitous.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with that game, I think we made 9 changes. I think it was evident when you saw the performance. We looked a little bit disjointed, but ultimately, cup football's about winning, and we won the game. Like you said, the Sunderland manager had a few things to say, didn't he, about Arsenal and Tottenham. So we end up getting drawn against them. So hopefully we mash them up in the next round. But great draw, League One team at home in the quarterfinals. So I want to win this competition. I've got to be honest.
It's interesting about the Sunderland thing is that I was actually talking to a Sunderland fan before the draw last weekend, and I was saying, no, I'm not being funny, man. No disrespect.
You want Sunderland.
I want Sunderland. And you know what the person said? He goes, I'm not being disrespectful, but we want Arsenal. Because I was saying, if you look at the other teams, it's a strong lineup, bro. It's a strong lineup. All the heavy hitters are still in that competition. Yeah. And they were saying, look, you're not being funny, I'm not being funny. We wanted you or Tottenham. Yeah. We'll take Arsenal all day. So
they'll be out. We'll beat them anyway. So
I would have thought so. But yeah, man. And then Leicester, Arsenal. Now, that game, the backdrop to that game was that, listen, we were on a very good run, and a lot of people were saying, yeah, you've done well so far, you've played well here and there, but can you go at Leicester, you know, early morning game, a team that's in form, good players, well managed, can you go there and get a result? Well, we did, and I thought that we played very well. Yeah. 2-0. Listen, we did ride our luck at times in the second half because I think the first half we were outstanding. Second half, we was expecting the pushback from Leicester, and it did come. They made changes at half time. Yeah. They came at us, which I expected. But I thought we coped quite well. And of course, Ramsdale was in superior form.
Oh, Goatstale, they're calling him.
Was that the save of the season for you, the free kick?
Yeah, I'd say so. Coupled with the fact that he saves the rebound as well. Yeah. I think the interesting thing was, I think he should get to the ball, because if you look at the Maddison free kick, it's not in the top corner. No. Yeah, so I think he should get to it. What's so impressive about it is the fact he manages to get that onto the crossbar and the strength in his arm. He then reacts. I mean, Johnny Evans is 3-4 yards out, and he saves that one as well. I thought. It was a great, even the one before from Iheanacho where he tipped it onto the post, man. He's proven.
I think there were about 4 or 5 saves in that game that were proper good saves.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Topped off by the free kick, of course, but you know. Yeah. And people no less than David Seaman were coming out and, you know, lauding him. So
Schmeichel said it's the best save he's seen in years, and his son's in the other goal at the time as well. So that's huge praise, isn't it?
And Schmeichel's not known for
praising Arsenal. Yeah, exactly.
Coming out with comments like that, so that's big, man. But let's have a look at the match receipts for that game, because although we did play well, afterwards when I started looking at the stats, it did tell a little story there. We wasn't maybe as dominant as some of the Arsenal fans were trying to make out. I know Robbie thought that. I think I spoke to Robbie and he said I didn't think we were under that much threat. But if you look at the stats, shots on goal, Arsenal 9, Leicester 16. Shots on target, Arsenal 5, Leicester 8. Possession, Arsenal 35%, Leicester 65%. Pass accuracy, Arsenal 87%, Leicester 76%. But in most of those categories, Leicester come out on top, of course, but the most important one is the goals. Yeah. And we come out on top there. But looking at those stats, are you somewhat surprised, or do you think that's a fair reflection, or are you just... don't really matter, we got the win, that's it? What do you think?
No, I think when you go to Leicester, you expect them to have some of those stats. I thought first off we were really, really good. Like, we came out of the traps flying, which has been something we've looked at with Arsenal and said we start too slow. You know, we got the early goal as well, backed it with another goal. Leicester looked a little bit shell-shocked. They had to make 2 changes at half-time. Again, you play 3 at the back against a 4-4-2 and you're going to have problems. Leicester did it, Villa did it. They both had to change at half-time.
Good point.
And second off...
See, that's why we got you on the show. That's a gem.
You know what I mean?
That's a gem right there.
Second off, I felt... Some people say it's the best performance of the season. I thought Villa was a better performance. The reason being, for me, I like performances that you control, where it's in your hands. I felt second half, and not to sound negative, because it's one of the best results of the season.
Absolutely.
I just felt second half, you know, Leicester had chances in that second half. You know, Ramsdale made a few saves, Harvey Barnes, I think Thomas had a chance, Lookman had a chance. You know, they had a few chances, and I kind of felt like if they get a goal here, we're going to be, you know, riding a storm here until the end of the game. So I'd just like to see Arsenal control the game a little bit sometimes when you're winning. Sometimes when a team's really coming on to you, what you've got to do is keep some possession, frustrate them, make them chase the ball and tire. I felt we was giving up possession a little bit easily and just allowing them to come on to us, which is expected, but I think that's something down the line that Arteta needs to, you know, they'll work towards that. It will take time, but, you know, I felt the result was brilliant. You know, Leicester beat Man United at home a few weeks ago. It's a tough place to go. To go there, score 2, keep a clean sheet. And I think, listen, the team is building. We're moving in the right direction at the moment.
Absolutely.
Which is positive.
Yeah, thanks for that, bro. I mean, listen, I would say that, I do agree with you, by the way, about the performances with the Villa and the Leicester. I would say I give the edge to the Villa performance because in that game we controlled pretty much most of the game. Now, I think when people are saying that the Leicester performance was the better performance and the best of the season, I'm speculating. I'm not trying to speak for other people, but I think what they're saying is, given the circumstances of that game, the fact that you're going away from home, you're playing against a quality side like Leicester, like I said, some very talented players. Vardy, who always scores against us, and didn't that day. You know, so they've got quality all through the team. And to go there and to win 2-0, not concede, is a great win. But I'm with you, man. In terms of actual performance, I'm going with the Villa. But listen, man, the Leicester performance was very, very encouraging. Good. And I've got to ask you, bro, and this is something that it's a theme that will be running through this week's show, is given the fact that we're on this unbeaten run, given the fact that we're slapping up teams like Villa and then going to Leicester and putting in a very creditable performance and winning, are you now seeing signs that we could actually do something? Are you now, Curtis Shaw, hopping on the Arteta train?
Man said hopping on the train,
Yeah, I'm calling that train, bro, because let's be fair, man. People who watch this show regularly know that you have been a critic. I wouldn't say a detractor, because that, you know, I mean, you like to speak your mind, as we encourage you to do on the show. But you've been fairly critical of him since. And you know, listen, man, I've agreed with a lot of what you've said, so I'm not going to cap now. But given what's happened in recent weeks, there's a certain energy at the club now that we haven't seen for some time. So I'm saying, are you on that train, bro? Are you hopping on that Arteta train or what?
Do you know what I'd say? I'm on the platform. I'm not there.
Have you got a ticket?
Well, I might have hopped the barriers, I think.
I like
back
that
in the
one.
day.
I like
But
that one.
yeah, man, listen, man. Do you know what? I think, listen, I've given Arteta a bit of a tough time since he's been at Arsenal. I think a lot of it has been justified because of the results, and we are a big football club. We should demand high standards. What I will say is I'm seeing improvement, and I'm one of these people, if he's doing a good job, I'll praise it. If I don't...
Is the improvement sustainable?
Well, that's the question. Because the reality is, I remember that season, Unai Emery, 22 games, Fulham away, we were singing, we've got our Arsenal back. Next minute, people were saying, get rid of it. After Baku, do you know what I mean? So what I will say with Arteta, he's built a team. I look at this Arsenal team now and I think this is Arteta's Arsenal. He's signed a number of players. He's given new contracts. He's been backed by the board. This is his team. I think that back five, if you're talking the defence and the goalkeeper, looks more solid than we've seen in a long time. I mean, I've said many times, I think Gabriel's the best centre-back that we've had since Sol Campbell and Kolo Toure. That's how far I'm going. I think he's going to be better than your Koscielny's, your Vermaelens. I think his potential
Big shout.
is sky high.
Big shout, that, bro.
No, I'm telling you, I'm standing behind it.
You heard it here
I'm
first.
standing behind it. What I'm enjoying is this 4-4-2. You know, sometimes for me, you've just got to go back to basics.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Go on. I know what you're going to say. You're calling.
No, I'm capping. But,
you're capping,
But listen, man, how long have we been saying that, bro?
Play two strikers.
Yeah.
And look at the difference it's made. Lacazette, for me, has been fantastic these last few games. He's helped Aubameyang out so much. The midfield partnership, you know, Sambi Lokonga and Thomas Partey, you know. We're not missing Granit Xhaka.
I knew it.
You knew it. It had to come, you know. Granit Xhaka.
I'm sitting there looking at you and I'm thinking he's going to mention it.
I have to mention it. We ain't missed him, you know. I think Sambi, I'm calling him the silent assassin, quietly handling business next to Partey.
Yeah.
Partey's moving like a general.
Yeah.
Smith Rowe and Saka, the two young bucks doing
and
their
those shots are coming down now as
Do you know what I mean?
Last season it was Rosette.
Last season he was hitting the pigeons. Now, you know, he's just clipping your hat. That's it.
That header, even though it was off the shoulder. I mean, even so, bro.
Yeah, but listen, for me, it's just a case of can he sustain it? When we play some of the bigger teams away from home as well, your Cities and, well, we played City away, but obviously, you know, we got Liverpool after the international break. I think a key thing is I would like to see Arsenal go and sign somebody in January. I always think you should build from a position of strength. Don't always go and sign players when we're in a crisis. Sign them when we're doing well and we can keep getting better. So, listen, I'm not on the Arteta train. I've hopped the fence. I'm on the platform. I'm thinking about it. So, you know, considering how I've been with Arteta over the couple of years, there's definitely progress being made, and long may it continue, you know.
No, that's interesting because there are one or two people. You know what? I'm going to shout him out still. My man, Dan Potts, who we're hoping to have on the show fairly soon. Big up, Dan. I know you'll be watching, but he's gone as far as to say, listen, man, the man might be proving me wrong. So are you in that bracket?
Listen, I always say, and I say this all the time, I don't mind being proven wrong.
Right.
You know, when Aaron Ramsdale signed for Arsenal, I was critical of that deal.
You were.
Look at the guy now. You know what I mean? I'm having to eat humble pie, but I don't mind. I'll eat that humble pie.
Granite's made you eat humble pie?
No, Granite's never made me eat humble pie.
You're just not having it.
I'm just not having it.
You're not having it.
But no, listen, I'm one of these people, to convince me, it's about where we finish, not about what we're doing. We can have a good run of form. Can you get us to where we need to get to at the end of the season? We need to be in Europe. And I don't mean Conference League either. I want at least Europa League. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you know, by logical extension, what you're seeing now, are you on this show today saying that is achievable?
Oh, it's definitely achievable. Okay. Definitely. Listen, if we
That's
can...
interesting, you know, because, sorry to interrupt, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have said that a few weeks back.
No, maybe not. Maybe not. I think the signings have lifted us massively. A lot of them are coming. They've improved. The energy looks different. There looks like a real togetherness there, and I think it is achievable. I think not only do I think we can get top 6, I think we've got to be there in case somebody drops out of that top 4. I think at the start of the season, everybody said, no chance. City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United will be the top 4. I think now it looks like Ollie's going to stay at United. People are just thinking, well, you know what? If they keep slipping up, can you just sneak in? It's still a long shot. But I think we've got to be playing with that intention that can we get top 4, worst case scenario, get in the top 6. And I'd love to see us win a domestic trophy at Wembley as well. So, listen, it's positive at the moment. It's definitely positive.
I would agree. And listen, let's be honest, man. We've been critical of you've been critical. I've been critical. Many fans have been critical.
Yeah.
It's funny now that all of a sudden people say, "Yeah, I told you." I'm like, bro, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean. But anyway, putting that aside for 1 second. But could it be that the manager's improving, just like the players are improving?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if he's improving, then we're going to see what we called him out for in the past. We're now going to say, well, you're addressing that. I mean, I've noticed in recent weeks the subs have been a little early.
Yeah.
He has been a bit more proactive. So, you know, I'm jokingly saying he's listening to the show. Of course he's not. But, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the thoughts of the fans and the critics and whoever else. Maybe it started to register, and he's thought, you know what, actually, maybe I might try and do things a little different. The 4-4-2 situation, for example. You know what I mean? That kind of come out of nowhere. He wasn't doing that before. So, and it's working. So,
and I think you make a good point there, because at the end of the day, when we hired him, the problem a lot of people had was he's got no experience to lean on. Now he has got a couple of years of management. He can go, well, you know, I was doing that wrong. Let me do this now. So I think you could be right. In time, you know, he is understanding, make your substitutions earlier, try a different formation. So maybe we're seeing an improved Arteta, and in turn we're seeing a better Arsenal.
Yeah, that's right. There's, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, just because you started at a certain level doesn't mean to say you can't go through the levels and get to where you want to get to. You know what I mean? So listen, man, fair play to him.
Yeah.
With regards to where am I hopping on the train? Cautiously.
You're on there, so you just tentatively stepping on there, yeah?
Yeah, listen, man, I'm going to ride the train, but I might get off a few stops down the line if he reverts back to doing things wrong again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm on that train.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, you know what I mean? It's not like one straight stop straight to
here. You're not direct. There's little stops you can just get off.
Yeah. So you know, I'm not ashamed to admit that. But listen, man, at the moment, things are positive.
Definitely.
I'm encouraged, and long may it continue. And talking of it continuing, this weekend, man. Again, we go again. We go again, man. Ops of the week. This weekend, Arsenal welcome to the Emirates, Watford. They're coming to town. Yeah. That should be another very interesting game. Let's have a look at the stats with Watford. Let's have a look at their receipts. Watford currently 16th place in the Premier League. They've recently appointed a new manager.
Mr. Dilly Ding Dilly Dong.
Where'd you get that from?
He said it, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he famously said it in an interview at Leicester.
Okay, right, okay. All right. Bit of a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But he won the title, did he? So he could say what he wants, really.
He's a proven winner.
Yeah.
Right, so let's look at their games. They've played 10, won 3, Aston Villa, Norwich and Everton. Drawn 1 against Newcastle. Lost 6, Brighton, Tottenham, Wolves, Leeds, Liverpool, Southampton. Right, bro, so what are you saying, man? Will this be a test?
Oh, yeah, listen, I think every game in the Premier League is a test. Watford, I mean, they battered Everton the other week.
They did.
But then they got hammered to Liverpool. You know, they're a bit of a... They're quite unpredictable, to be honest. I've got to be honest. Arsenal should be winning this game. Let's be honest. We know cautiously. You know, we don't want to get carried away. But Watford at home, international break coming up. We could potentially be in the top 4 this weekend if results go for us. This is a must-win game. Sometimes these are bigger challenges.
You seem to say that every week on this show.
I know we do, but
they are.
They genuinely are. These can be the biggest tests sometimes because the players, they have to have that mindset that this is still a tough game. You got to earn the right to play. But let's be real, we should be winning this game. You know, I would like to see a convincing performance at home in front of the fans. I think if we can score early, I think, you know, their heads could drop. They've conceded a lot of goals. They got Ben Foster in goal, the cycling GK. I don't know if you've ever seen his YouTube channel.
I've seen
he has the GoPro in the goal, so hopefully we're smashing goals into that camera. But no, listen, Watford, they got a few good players. Ismaila Sarr, very quick. Josh King's got a goal in him, but I think we'll win this weekend. I think
what Watford have shown, if they're motivated and they have a good day, they can be a good team. Because I've seen they have some good players, like you said, Josh King, Sarr, 1 or 2 others, and I've noticed that they have a lot of energy in and around the team. They do make mistakes though. That's what I've seen with them.
Conceded a lot.
Yeah, they have, and if we can capitalise on that, then it should be a good day. However, I'm not gonna just because it's Watford.
No.
Say we're going to beat them 3-4-0 because I'm expecting this to be a good test for us.
Yeah.
And as we said previously on this show, there's no point beating the likes of Villa and Leicester and 1 or 2 others if you get a game like this where you should win. And no disrespect to Watford, I'm saying, listen, where we are now to where they are,
should beat them.
Arsenal, and they're at home as well, Arsenal. You should be expecting to beat Watford. But we've seen it in the past in the Premier League, man. As soon as you go out there and you know what I mean, you're thinking ahead of yourself, you get complacent. Yeah. You see what happens. I mean, I would imagine that happened to Everton, didn't it?
Yeah.
They saw Watford rocking out. They probably thought, yeah, man, easy work.
Them. Yeah.
but it wasn't. And so what do you think? Do you think like Watford, they will have a little bit of new manager bounce? It's been a bit up and down.
Yeah, I mean, they're a bit of an unpredictable team. They seem to have goals in them.
Yeah.
But they concede a lot, and this is where I'm hoping we can really get the better of them. And listen, we're riding high at the moment. We shouldn't have any doubts about this game. We just beat Leicester.
Yeah.
We're close to the top 4. We're unbeaten. You know, we can go into another international break unbeaten. I want to see smoke going off at the Emirates. I'm telling you, I want to see smoke this Sunday. Do you know what I mean? I'm back in the
But
team.
you do have to be a little bit careful.
Of course you do.
Because
of
we've
course
done this
do.
we've made this mistake in the past, saying, listen,
Yeah.
man, that's a 3-0 game. I'm expecting us to see them blow them out of the water. And then all of a sudden, we don't start quickly.
Well,
We don't
Norwich.
score. Yeah, exactly.
I remember, I think I predicted 4-0. We beat them 1-0 you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Although, to be fair, when we played Norwich, we were coming off the back of those defeats.
bad results, yeah.
So the confidence wasn't the same as it is now.
Yeah.
You speak to Arsenal fans, the energy around the club, and to be fair, the manager and the players. I mean, I've seen a couple of interviews of Aubameyang's given recently. He seems cock-a-hoop. He's smiling again.
Yeah.
Buying new cars and all that.
you know
what I
he's
mean?
in a good mood when there's a new Lambo
Man's
somewhere.
getting his car wrapped and all that and rare. So you're thinking the energy,
Yeah.
the mood music is good. But that being said, the performances have to reflect that, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, and we got to go in there and we got to win.
Yeah.
But the performance, I want to, like you, I
Yeah.
want to see a good performance, man. So do you think we'll get that?
I think we will. You know, I know Watford haven't, but everyone's played in Europe this week. A lot of teams in Europe. We've had that nice week off. I think somebody said, apart from Xhaka and I think Tierney, every player in our squad is available at the moment, which is great. You know, how many years have we been here and we're like, Arsenal got injuries left, right and centre. So maybe that one season out of Europe will help us in that sense.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that.
Of
and
keeping
I
the
tend
squad
to agree.
fit. So listen, do you know what? I was caught between two score lines in my prediction, but I'm going for smoke. I'm going for smoke. Yeah, we're riding high. We're turning up fully loaded.
Wow.
I'm going 3-0.
Wow.
Bang, 3-0 victory
3-0.
at home. Watford get that early goal, and I think Watford
But
will.
what if we don't get the early?
Well, then I'll take it back. But I think we will. We're at home. The game's on TV. Aubameyang, Lacazette, 4-4-2. Watford conceding a lot of goals. You know, we got a lot of energy at the moment. I think we will get that early goal. I'm going for a 3-0 win. Another clean sheet as well for Goatstale.
Is that goat because he's the goat, or is that goat for his love of curry goat? Because I call him Levi Roots.
Oh, Levi Roots, yeah, because the man loves it. Well,
That's what
a bit
I
of
call him,
both. I'll give it a bit of. He's moving like the goat goalkeeper right now, and
But
yeah,
you know
he
what?
loves
On
his
that
goat.
Ramsdale thing,
Yeah,
it's
man.
becoming a bit of a story now. Also,
It is.
because as you alluded to earlier in the show, when his name was first linked with
Yeah.
us, there was a lot of naysayers. I mean,
Oh,
you've
yeah.
admitted that you
Yeah,
were one
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, and I'm being honest, I wasn't, because I wanted that. We needed that number 2 goalkeeper. What we thought was a number 2 goalkeeping slot field, because remember, we had Matt Ryan. He didn't really get much of a look in.
Yeah.
He left. So we needed to bring in somebody. And when the name Ramsdale was being mentioned, I was like, well, okay, people were saying, oh, yeah, but he was in Sheffield United's team that went down, and everywhere he's gone, they've had trouble. And I'll be like, yeah, but he's also an England international. He's in that setup.
Yeah.
So he can't be that bad. Then I started doing my due diligence, bit of research, and I was seeing a lot of people are having good comments to make about him. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm not as surprised as some
No.
people might be, but hey, it's a great story though, isn't it?
Brilliant story. And
He's almost becoming a bit of an icon at the club.
I think he's
cult
really
of
really
celebrity.
connected with the fan base,
Absolutely.
and he's always applauding after the game. He throws his shirt in there. But listen, he's earned the right. He's been fantastic.
Yes.
I think what my issue was when we signed him was, even though we signed him as number 2, the feeling was that Leno was going to go eventually and Ramsdale was going to be number 1. And I was like, is he at that level yet to be the Arsenal number 1? But listen, he's come in and proved it, so fair play to him. And, you know, he'll be looking at Pickford and thinking,
Oh, yeah,
I want to
for
push
sure.
him for that England spot.
I'm hearing
So-
that argument pushed already
Yeah.
by, you know what I mean, a lot of people, respected pundits in
Yeah.
the game are saying, listen, man,
One thing I'll say about Ramsdale, that guy's distribution is incredible. I think apart from Ederson, who's probably top dog, he is up there. Like some of his kicking, he's kicking volleys just off the floor, straight into Aubameyang's feet. And I'm like, oh my days. So, yeah, man, that brother, if we ever meet him, I have to take him out for a curried goat, man, because he's moving. I owe him an apology.
Show us where to go,
he might even take us to the spot, you know. So, big up to Ramsdale,
but
man.
yeah, man, absolutely.
Brilliant at the moment.
And what I would say about Ramsdale as well is that he's kind of epitomising the good energy at Arsenal at the moment, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And you can't underestimate that, man. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
But listen, man, I've got to press you for, I know you said smoke, I know you said 3-0. Oh, you said 3-0, innit?
Yeah.
Tell us why you think that's going to happen.
Because I just think we're firing at the moment. I think confidence is high. Feel like we've got goals in us. Before I used to watch us and think, you know, where are the goals coming from? Are we going to create? At the moment, you know, 3 goals against Villa, 2 at Leeds, 2 at Leicester. I think there's goals in this team. And as I said, I'd be looking at that Watford team. You can't write them off. They've got good players. But at the same time, I think if we score early and their heads drop, I think we can get 2 or 3 goals. And the atmosphere at the Emirates has looked brilliant this season. The fans are really
Shout
up for
out
it.
to the fans.
You know what I mean? I think being out of the stadium for a year, it's made everyone like, when I get back. So I'm going for a 3-0 victory. Smoke.
And shout out to the fans, because as well, even when we were pretty poor in those early games of Brentford, Chelsea and City, the fans largely have stood by the team and the manager. So shout out to them as well. And I'd also like to say we bigged up Gabriel. We bigged up Ramsdale, of course, but listen, man, there are some other honorary mentions. Emil Smith-Rowe, Saka, my man Abba up front, Lacazette, you know what I mean? In fact, if you go through the spine of the team, man, we're looking strong.
Oh, man, even Nuno Tavares.
Oh, man.
What a performance.
Actually, I was going to say to you, does Tierney, he's apparently going to be fit for the weekend. Does he come straight back in?
No. No, he doesn't, because I think that just sends out the wrong message. And let's be honest, respectfully, Kieran Tierney wasn't playing great prior to that injury. You know, there were a lot of people going, he's not in great form. And Nuno, what I love about this guy is the pace, the power. This brother's quick.
He is.
I've seen him overlapping and all sorts, and he's skillful. He's doing little step over. No, man, he stays in that team for me.
Talking of quickness, I saw an interview with Aubameyang. And everyone previously thought that he was the quickest at the club. And he's saying, no, man, I'm not even second. Yeah. He's saying he's 3rd quickest. And he said the 2 quickest was, may surprise some people, but he had Tierney and Tavares ahead of him.
Yeah.
So there you go, man. That is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, listen, your prediction, 3-0, you said?
3-0, yeah.
I'm going by 2 clear goals. Even if we concede 1, I reckon we'll win by 2 clear goals.
So you're going 3-1?
Yeah, maybe 3-1. But I do expect... and again, I don't want to sound too complacent, overconfident, disrespectful, but the way we are right now to where Watford are, I can only see us winning. But
you never know.
Football's a funny game, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we'll see. But listen, man, we're coming to the end of the show now, man. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence and enlightening us with your knowledge and your intuitions.
I appreciate it.
I really enjoyed the show. I hope you guys have too, man. We've got the award-winning man in front of us, man. We've got to make use of his time and his presence and his energy. So, yeah, man. So tell the people where they can find you and what you're up to.
Yeah, man. Curtis Shaw TV. Just come over. Daily uploads and that. Guests on. I'm on there all the time, so come and check out. Obviously, we're approaching 100 shows on here as well. And
it would be remiss of me not to mention, given that we've got so many Indian fans and friends and associates and people who watch the show, Diwali. So happy Diwali to everybody. Big up. Big up yourselves. And listen, man, send us in your comments. Let us know what you thought of what we said today on the show, which is, you know, are you now hopping on the Arteta train? You know what I mean? That train that's going to deliver us to the promised land. Are you on it? Do you believe in him? You know what I mean? Or were you already on the train? You know what I mean? Are you one of those that are looking at me and Curtis now saying, see, I told you, man. You know what I mean? You needed to show more faith in him from the start. Let us know, man. Keep the show interactive. Keep watching. Keep supporting. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next week. Respect.